Hey, David Wygant here with Eddie Palmer, 10-minute daily reality check coming at you with the addiction of the addictions. It's cheaper than crystal meth. You can snort it because it looks like cocaine. It's the thing we feed our children every night after dinner because if they're a good kid, they can get a dose of it. Mommy, Daddy, could I please have some ice cream? Sure, child, let me addict you to this substance. It's all over the supermarket aisles. If you ever look at the back of your food, you'll see the percentage of what you're eating in saturated fats and sugar is about 35% of exactly what you should have eaten all day, but yet you can consume it. The yeast and the candida in your stomach are saying, feed me, we need it. It's amazing on how good you feel when you don't have it, but then all of a sudden you put it back into your body, and the next thing you know, you're craving it like a maniac. You're scouring the market. You're scouring the internet to go find the sweet that you want. You go to the Baskin and Robbins ice cream store that's full of preservatives and GMO. That isn't even milk from a cow, it's milk from a machine. Remember those mechanical milk things, Eddie? Remember in college, right? Remember when we were trying to bulk up in college? I mean, you played ball, and I tried to just bulk up because I was skinny as can be. But do you remember the mechanical cow, right, in the cafeteria?
Yeah, that's
right. That's what it is. It's like moo GMO.
It's funny. That is true. Exactly what it is, and it's gonna catch up with you. And if it hasn't, it'll have you wearing elastic pants real quick because that button just seems to alleviate. Easy tip to avoid this. Everybody's talking about sugar. Well, how much is too much? If it's more than 20% of the caloric intake, guess what? It's too much fucking sugar. And all you do is you go, how many calories are in this? You flip on the back. Total calories, total carbohydrates when you're looking at food tubes. And then you, okay, total amount of calories, 20%. Okay, what's 20% out of 150? Boom, then you have your answer. And then you look down at the grams of sugar and go, that's a bit over 20%. Maybe I can't have that. That'll probably be most of the things you drink. It's going to limit you to a lot of things. That new Bai drink, it's 5 calories, no sugars. That's good to go. But if you're going, oh, I'm thirsty and I need to replenish myself, let me grab a Gatorade. You're not just putting electrolytes back in your sodium potassium pump. You're also putting sugar in your body. And not just any type of sugar, refined sugar. Let me explain something to you. Refined sugar and raw sugar. When you go to Starbucks, you see those little brown sugar packets? That's what you want to be using. Not the white stuff. The white sugars will get you caught up. It's going to add inches to your waist. It's going to make you heavy. And it's going to kill your caloric intake. Most of you kill it before you even leave the house. The orange juice, then coffee. And then then what do you grab on the way to on your way to the work?
A muffin.
A muffin. And then let me grab a Coke for lunch or for something to sit at my desk and drink. You've had 2,000 calories before you've even gotten a lunch. And then you wonder why that sugar coma hits you so often. I'm tired. And then you have a little more Coke. I'm up and going. Now I'm tired again. They got you, folks. You're hooked. You're the new opiate. It's not just opiates. It's sugar. It's hand in hand.
Well, you know what's funny? It's not even the calories, because if you think about it, if you just eat when you're hungry and you graze and snack and you eat pure good foods, you're going to eat the exact amount of calories your body needs throughout the day. You're giving yourself small little bursts of food that are giving you the fuel that you need, because your body really is just a car. It just depends on what type of car you want to treat it. Is it a Maserati with great sexy lines, or does it look like a Ford Flex wagon, where it just doesn't really look right? Or the Pontiac Aztek from Breaking Bad, right?
The Honda Odyssey.
Right, or the Odyssey. I mean, and that's the thing. It's not, and I always say I've never looked at the calorie content in my life at all, and I've been the same weight my entire, pretty much my entire adult life.
Dave's different than a lot of you. He's different body type. Let's address normal body types, because Dave can't have much, so he's always had to be. Dave has a great education because he's had to learn what his body is allowed to eat and not eat. But for the most of you, you're like, well, I can eat anything. It doesn't really. No, you can't. It's caught up to you, and you just don't realize it. Because if you do simple things, most of us, you get 2,000 calories just for being alive. That's what your body takes a day to operate. Now, let's say you work out. No, you didn't burn 30,000 calories working out. I don't care what that machine told you, and I don't care how long you think.
I love how that machine thinks it knows.
Oh, yeah. No, well, the standard deviation, the machine tells you, oh, you burned 600 calories on this workout. Standard deviation is plus or minus 200, and you should always go minus. So when it tells you 600, you should look at more for hour of exercise, say 300 to 400 calories. So let's say you worked out an hour. That's 2,400 calories in a day. Now, most of us finish off 2,000 calories before we get to lunch, if not by lunch.
The Frappuccino alone is about 1,000
500 calories.
500 calories.
And then it's all sugar. The Frappuccino, the Starbucks drinks you like, the soy the macchiatos with the caramel, Frappuccinos, and all that sugary stuff, it's going to kill you. Get some coffee. get some almond milk and some raw sugar. Try that. You get the caffeine you want to fix the addiction so you don't kill anybody. You can get to work without murdering the children or your boss. And then you get, what else do you get? You get raw sugar, natural. So you're not putting, yes, you're getting the sweetener you need, but you're not putting shit, processed sugar into your body that's adding caloric and preservatives. Here's another little quick tip. Preservatives, your body doesn't know what that is. So if your body doesn't know what something is, it automatically becomes fat.
So all the Diet Cokes that you drink automatically become fat. And there's also
You'd be better off drinking a regular Coke because there's less preservatives in that actually. And so you'd have to fight the sugar. So it's like pick your poison. You want more preservatives, less sugar. Either way you go, you're going to gain the weight. Just depends on how your body, releases certain types of things versus others. Some people can handle more carbs. Some people can handle less. I'm a less man myself. If I walk by Subway, I gain weight. Subway's not healthy for you, by the way, just FYI.
Yeah.
People think I'm going to Subway. Yeah, Jared. Eat like Jared. He's got a lot of bad habits.
Let me tell you something. Eat like Jared. Like you could go eat Subway, you can lose a little bit of weight, but then you also want to molest children. I mean, so Jared's got some really creepy habits, okay? Jared's Subway, well, I'm not going to talk about Jared, but it's the truth. It's like too many people are they look at the wrong things, They don't want to have an avocado.
It's just like life. If you think about it, we look at what we want to see. We don't want to see the bad, so we don't want to look at, so we don't notice the amount of sugar in there. Or we don't want to see that our significant other is so-and-so, so we don't see the bad. We just focus on the good. And that's what everybody does. Oh, I'll just have a little bit of teriyaki sauce. It's 150 calories per tablespoon. Your chicken is covered in it.
It's sugar. It's pure
Ask yourself, how healthy is that grilled chicken now that it's covered in teriyaki sauce? It's not.
You also don't realize you go to a sushi restaurant, okay, sushi rice is covered in white sugar. So basically what happens is they mix it. To make that sushi rice sticky, they're using white sugar in that sushi.
Yeah.
Vinegar and sugar is what it really is what the mix really is.
Yeah.
So when you go there and you start pounding the sushi and you think to yourself, holy shit, how can I eat so much? I can't believe I can do this much white rice, which you shouldn't be eating anyway. You should be eating brown rice. You're pounding and pounding and pounding. And even I've done it. Like I go out for sushi and I can't believe I've eaten the entire tray. Yeah. Because your body and the yeast and the candida is going, yummy, feed me. Because it was like the yeast and the candida are little monsters that are talking to your brain.
And they only get bigger the more you feed them. Just like Seymour in the pet shop. The more you feed Seymour, the candida, the bigger it gets. And you're just in there fighting and you're like, that's where that urge comes. You're like, I think I need something sweet. No, you don't. Your sugar craving, your candida's gotten bigger and now it's taking over. You've got to learn to put it in check. Do little things. Everybody nowadays, if you're listening to this, you have an iPhone or you have a smartphone. I want you to write down everything you eat tomorrow, what you eat and drink tomorrow. Then I want you to download one of those apps that does the food calculator. I want you to put it in there at the end of your day while you're watching CNN, 2020, local news, your favorite sitcom, Modern Family, whatever you're watching, or you're getting ready to listen to Dave's next podcast. And you say, okay, let me count out how many calories I had today. And I guarantee you'll be over 2,000 by lunch. And then ask yourself, did I work out today? Probably not. So you're over 2,000 calories. Where do you think those extra calories go? They go into your gut, your hips, your back, your chest, your stomach, your face, your ankles, your feet. They go everywhere. Fat goes everywhere. I've had people lose 10 pounds in a month and it mostly came off their face. And they're like, I look skinny in the face. My body's just a little bit slower behind. That's because they had to lose. That's how much weight they have to lose. It's everywhere and it's coming off where it wants to first. And little adjustments, you get the rest going, of course. But just write down what you eat. Total it up and then surprise yourself and say, how long have I been doing this every day? I guarantee it'll get you to change your diet. Before you start trying to exercise, if you don't and all that, just look at your diet and make subtle changes.
There's also you go to a smoothie shop.
Oh, Jamba Juice.
Like Jamba Juice, right? And if you look at the Jamba Juice ingredients, they will add sugar or honey to the already sweetened thing, or something in there. They're going to add something.
That's why it's so magically delicious. It's because it's all sugar.
Oh, it's like 1,000. I mean, the Jamba Juice peanut butter blast.
Everything.
It's almost 1,400 calories.
Okay? You're like, how is a smoothie?
And you're having that as a dessert. Or you're having that in between meals, and it's actually more meals than the burger that you have with your steamed vegetable for lunch and dinner combined, right?
Literally, you're like, Jesus.
You have this, and when you go to a smoothie store, I say this to all the time, I look and I go, why the fuck is agave in there? It's like, why are you putting honey in there? I said, you've got dates.
The fruit is natural sweetener.
Yeah, you've got dates. Dates are amazing. So if you have a sweet tooth, Like these bars that I just bought, right? They have dark chocolate on it, right? Which gets rid of your sweet tooth. And they got almonds and they taste good. And it's just good fats for you. And there's not really any sugar. There's no sugars in it, right?
Yeah.
And it craves it. You can actually substitute things for it because it's really just tricking your mind and your body. You don't need the fucking Baskin Robbins ice cream, okay?
And if you think you're not addicted, try to wean yourself off and see how hard that is. You're addicted to sugar. If you're listening to this, I'm telling you, you're addicted to sugar. And it's the hardest thing in the world to get off. You don't believe me? Try. From now on, substitute. Don't get the sweetest thing out there. We're so addicted to how much sugar they put in everything. Our bodies can't handle normal levels because we're like, that's not sweet enough. When naturally it is. Fruit in itself has a lot of sugar. Literally, depending on, I've had models I've worked with who've done like Victoria's Secret stuff, and you had to pull them off certain types of fruit because of the sugar in there. You don't want it to add to their waste. And that's a totally different,
My fasting blood sugar, because I used to wake up in the morning, okay, and I used to go and have my green drink, and I'd have water and everything else, and then I would have a fruit tray, right?
Yeah.
Where I'd have a half a pineapple, I'd have coconut, I'd have peaches, whatever was in season, plums, right? And I would sit there and just eat it all because I figured it's fruit. And someone told me, eat fruit on an empty stomach, then you don't fart like a fucking, like a locomotive, right? So I would sit there every morning, and all of a sudden, my resting blood sugars was 85, 86, 87. I went to the doctor one time, my resting blood sugar for my physical was 117.
Yeah.
My doctor looked at me and said, you might be pre-diabetic. And I'm thinking, how the fuck?
Am I pre-diabetic?
How am I pre-diabetic?
Exactly.
And then I started looking and realizing what I was eating. Not only was I eating the fruit in the morning, when I would go after working out in the afternoon, I would have that I need a crave. So I'd go buy, a bag of kettle chips. I mean, kettle chips. There was no sugar in kettle chip. So I'd sit there and eat the entire bag of kettle chips. So what do carbs do? What do corn chips and kettle chips and Doritos and all that stuff? It turns immediately into sugar. So it spikes your insulin level. So here I was all day long taking my insulin level and fucking spiking it. Then at night, I would get the coconut ice cream, right? Because I figured it was healthier. Right? It's a little healthier. There wasn't as much sugar in there. Well, by the end of the day, I already had so much fucking sugar that my body was just going, no more. You don't need more. But I was craving it so bad because I was literally in the morning taking it and not neutralizing. Now I have a shake and I put almond butter. I put fats in there. I put avocado in there. And I put a little fruit in there like acai, pure acai, not sweetened acai.
Because there's a difference.
There's a difference. And maybe a half a banana or something. And I don't crave sugar throughout the whole day. I actually feel full and satiated. I feel really good. So it's how you spike yourself. And the last thing I'd ever want, and this is something that what sugar does, too much sugar, too many carbs will make you a fucking cholesterol nightmare. It's not only what your body is going to look like, it's what you're doing internally.
Yeah.
Okay? Diabetes 2 is one of the biggest fucking killers.
It's an epidemic.
It's an epidemic in the United States.
And it gets younger and younger.
Oh, yeah.
And kids aren't getting type 1.
It.
They're not even getting the kids' diabetes anymore. They're literally getting the diabetes you get from overeating because by the time they're 10 and 12 years old and 14 and 15, they're already diabetic at 14 and 15. I had a
with
girl
type 2?
Yeah, not type 1 or the kids type 2. I had a girl I was working with in college and all of a sudden she found out, Lily, she's 18 years old, she found out suddenly I'm a diabetic. She was 220 pounds when we started. I got her down to 175, and when she went to the doctor, guess what? She still found out she was diabetic. Years of beating herself apart and beating on her body with all these foods internally shut down her insulin distribution, the way her body handles insulin. And now she's got to deal with that for the rest of her life. You've got to make discipline changes in your life. You've got to be disciplined.
What about the wine belly that we've talked about? There are women that we know that go they do Pilates all day long. They go do yoga.
You can do
all
Pilates
night long.
for an hour. You can go then run behind it and do Soul Cycle. Then you can go and do a body bar class after and get your trainer. But I guarantee you cannot out-train the wine you drink. You will be on that elliptical all day, and then your joints are worn down. So you're going to wear down your joints completely trying to live on an elliptical or Stairmaster or bike just to have 3 bottles of wine a night, 3 glasses of wine a night, a bottle of wine a night. Wine is for the weekend. You see how those W's go together? Wine is for the weekend. If you keep it in moderation, you'll be fine. You don't need, if you have to come home every day and drink wine, you are filling in for a whole lot of other things in life, including happiness. And that's a whole nother subject we need to talk about.
We can talk about other winos that sit around all night long and complain. They're whining all night long.
Wine is for the weekend. I'm not telling you not to enjoy wine, to be social and live life, because that's what it's about. Everything's in moderation. I agree.
We're not telling you not to have a fucking piece of a birthday cake at a birthday
party.
We're not talking about on a Friday night going to get frozen yogurts with your kids. We're not talking about you can treat your body. Everything's in moderation.
Make it a treat.
Make it a treat, not this is like, and you also with
Look
your
at
kids,
sugar,
you should train your kids.
Look
And
at sugar.
Guilty.
Look at sugar like diamonds. Do you buy diamonds every day? Well, you shouldn't be buying sugar every day.
Look, I'm guilty of it too. It's like my daughter looks at me with her beautiful little eyes and goes, I want ice cream, and I give it to her because I figure she's a kid. Let her enjoy her childhood. But the fact of the matter is, it's not enjoying the childhood.
You're setting her adulthood up for failure.
Right. It's setting her body. It's setting her
and cyberbullying as they get older now because of phones. Cyberbullying, all the other traumatic things that can happen to these kids now at a younger age because of the exposure they get. So you got to think about that. Prepare your kids for life. Less TV, less sugar, more books, more healthy food.
All right. Where can they reach you to get rid of their sugar intake?
Let's talk diet. Let's talk a bunch of things. EddiePalmer12@gmail.com. We'll figure out the rest from there. Whatever you need, we'll get it done.
Yeah, and we'll see you tomorrow. Reality Check talks about your body today. Yesterday, Reality Check talked about all the lies people tell. You never know what's going to happen on the 10-minute daily reality check every single day, so check back in. Also, it's an epidemic out there. Spread this around, man. This is a fucking... It's not the way you look. I know people who are very skinny, and they're called skinny fat. Because they're doing the damage. They're doing damage internally. It's not the way you look. Don't look at your outer body. Don't look at the fact... Don't look at your outer body. Take a look at the way you actually abuse your inner body, because that's the stuff that's going to keep you young and healthy. There's a reason why at 55, I look the way I look. People tell me all the time, you don't look 55, David. I know, I don't drink alcohol and I don't fucking eat sugar. So you know what? That's the reason why I don't fucking have lines all over my face. I don't have 4 chins, okay? It's not that I work out every single day either. I mean, I stretch every day and I work out probably 4 or 5 times a week. But it's not that. It's called monitoring and taking care and respecting my body. My body is my temple. And look at your children also. Look at how you are conducting your life.
Don't set them up for failure early in life. That's the big thing. You set them up with these food trends. It's harder to break. And me living all over the countries, the military bred and traveling, certain things you give your kids, you pacify, you're tired of them screaming, you want them to be quiet for 10 minutes in the back seat, but you want them to have healthy lives. So think about that 10 minutes of silence you bought could get them 10 years of an epidemic of a heart disease or a whole lot of list of things because you set the trend early. This is what you want. So start breaking that trend. Pull back from the sugar. Sugar is the new smoking. I mean, if you look at it, it's the same thing. Every time you think about what you're putting in your body, that diet, that Coca-Cola is just like taking a puff out of a cigarette. You're headed to the same graveyard at the same rate, to be honest.
Well, you know, it's funny. I'm going to leave it at this. You know, you realize we worry so much about our kids having sex or smoking pot or drinking alcohol.
I know, right?
Right? You know, all those things, right? We're worried about all that stuff. But yet, you know, we go out to dinner with them. We take them to a restaurant that's full of fucking processed foods. We eat that, right? They're filling up on fucking carbs. And they're filling up on carbs. And then afterwards, we take them for fucking dessert, even though they've already had dessert.
And we run them to the stores. I was going home one day, driving by Costco. A lady was in her Honda Odyssey, cut me off to make a U-turn in front of me so she could hurry up and get an In-N-Out line. With her kids in the back seat. Almost hurt her, injured her kids, trying to get to food that's going to kill them too. It was a double whammy. I was like, I'm trying to go home. I took a shortcut through. And next thing I know, this lady cuts me off trying to get into an In-N-Out fast food line so she can get her kids, who look like they were in baby seats, In-N-Out burgers. Beyond me.
All right, we're done, man. We talk about this for hours because both of us are fitness people, but we're actually thinking about your health. Take a look at what you're doing. Take a look at what you're putting in your body. Don't count the calories. Take a look at the sugar and the carb intake and really treat your body the way it's supposed to be treated, and you'll actually feel better. You won't get sugar crashes. You won't fucking perk up. You won't crash.
Your skin will look better.
Your skin will look better. We didn't even talk about skin issues that people have.
A lot of that's the key. And it comes from, I was telling one of my clients on the East Coast this morning. She's like, I had orange juice and this. I said, let's back off the orange juice. You know, it's
that's
good.
The worst thing in the
orange
world.
Juice is good to have every once in a while. A little vitamin C, keep the cold off you.
Real orange juice, not Tropicana.
And just to keep the immune system high, and you throw some vitamin C in. And if you really want it on a consistency, they've got little vitamin C scoops you can put into your drinks that just give you the vitamin C and none of the sugar. But you want to stay away from sugar. It's going to break. Orange juice is going to break your face out, and it's all sugar. It's 34 grams of sugar in most of these little 12-ounce bottles. Go look at those Simply Smart orange juices. 34 grams, or even 42 in a 12, 16-ounce bottle. It's amazing.
All right, that's it. See you tomorrow.